like we can get started then. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Video Game Creators. My name is Tam. My pronouns are she, her, and I will be the host for today's panel. Excited to have you all here. I would just like to begin by gratefully acknowledging that Science World is located on the traditional and unceded Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh village site of Sanok. We will start today with a quick introduction from our amazing group of mentors, followed by a hosted discussion. If you have any questions for our mentors, feel free to put it in the chat at any time. After the introductions, we're going to be doing a Q&A. Our technician today will be Kate, who will be monitoring the chat. So if you have any technical issues, they would be happy to assist. And we also ask that you do keep your comments in the chat and questions section respectful and relevant to the topics being discussed. Thank you so much. Okay, so now it is time to meet our mentors. We're going to be going around and doing a brief introduction of everybody before we jump into those Q&As. And mentors, if you could turn on your cameras now, we'll be bringing you up on screen. And we will be asking you to let us know your name and your job title and the things you love most about your career. All right, let's start going around and we have Mallory. Hello, Mallory.
Hi, how are you? Okay, you want me to start?
Sure, yeah. Please let us know your job title and the thing you love most about your career.
Okay. So hi everyone. My name is Mallory. My pronouns are she, her. I am one of the co-founders of Ripple Studios, which is an educational technology startup. We are on a mission to inspire all students to consider a career in STEM. So I'm super excited to be here today. And the coolest part about my job is that I get to combine my passions of educating and STEM to create something really cool with my team that would otherwise only exist in our imaginations.
That is awesome. Thank you, Mallory. And next up, one of our mentors is Candice. Hello, Candice.
Hi. Yeah, I'm Candice DeBaker. My pronouns are she, her. I am a character animator at Skybox Labs here in Vancouver, BC. I'm currently working on Halo Infinite, so that's super fun and exciting, and I'm really excited for that to come out soon. What do I like the most about my job? It's such a creative outlet. And I was such a theater kid growing up, and they say that animators are like actors with pencils, although I think it's more actors with mice now. Yeah, it's such a creative outlet for me that I am so happy to do every single day.
That is fantastic. Thank you, Candice. I'm also excited for Halo Infinite. And next up, we have Danny. Hello, Danny.
Hi, my name is Danny. I use they, them pronouns, and currently I am a lead quest designer at Kabam. I just started there about a month ago. Previous to that, I was a lead game designer at a small indie studio here in Vancouver called Epic Story Interactive. My favorite part of the job is definitely like being someone who is like gender diverse and being in this like leadership position and being able to speak to people and kind of like educate them and mentor them and be like, look, you can do this too. Like everybody can do this. It doesn't matter, if you're whatever your gender is or race or anything like that. Like that's why I love being in this industry and I love educating people on that.
That's awesome and very important. Thank you so much for sharing that, Danny. Next up, we have our mentor, Wendy. Hello, Wendy.
Hi, everybody. My name is Wendy. My pronouns are she, her. And right now I'm a software engineering manager, which means I work with the engineers on my team and help them to figure out, what is it that they want to achieve in their careers. And I try to support them in any way that I can, figure out like what skills they want to learn, for example. And that honestly is the most favorite part of my job. But also before I was a video game programmer, and that was really fun too, because I got to work with artists and designers one-on-one and help to write the code that helps to get their artwork and their designs into the game.
That is awesome. Thanks for sharing that, Wendy. So these are our lovely mentors for today for video game creators. So thank you so much, everybody, for sharing your introductions and your passion for your career and this industry. So now let's move on to the Q&A portion. I'd ask you to, if you have any burning questions that you have for our wonderful mentors, please write it in the chat and we can, yeah, try and answer them for you. Hi, Elsa. Welcome. Do you have any questions for any of our mentors here? Fantastic. Looks like Elsa does. And we'll be typing that. In the meantime, while Elsa is asking their question, I also have a few questions for all of you. I have a question for you is, how did you get started in your career? Let's start with Mallory. How did you get started in your career? And then we'll move on from there.
So for me, this is a pretty complicated one. So I'll try to summarize it. I really always liked science and math as a kid, and I started a degree in biochemistry, and then I didn't really enjoy it, so I left. And I worked for my family business for several years. I've been all over the place, and this is what you'll get from this story. I worked at my family business for several years before going back to school to take a marketing degree. And during my time there, I signed up for an engineering design team, which seems really obscure with a marketing student, and at the time it was. But it completely opened up my mind to the possibilities of STEM. I love engineering. If I could go back in time, I would probably consider taking it in school. And so that really brought my appreciation for STEM concepts back to life. And then after university, I worked at an insurance company where I did predominantly data analytics work, which if people on the call don't know what that is, it's basically just being given information and then summarizing it for leaders or owners of the company so that they can make decisions. And through that, I spent a lot of time doing education for others at the company. And that combination of appreciation for STEM and feeling really good about educating and empowering others is what led me to here. So my friend and I, Sabrina, were both very we're both passionate about empowering others and educating others about STEM. And that's basically how this company started. We decided we were brainstorming how best to educate youth. And this is why we went down this path of creating video games. And that's how Ripple Studios was born.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. That actually kind of brings up to some of the questions that there are folks that have, which is, did you get a degree? And if so, what is it? Which Mallory did share their career path there. Did anyone else also want to share what kind of degree that they have? And did they have to go to school for their job? That's some of their questions, yes.
Do you want us to just answer, or are you going to call?
Sure, yeah. How about you, Candice?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have a diploma in fine and performing arts and another diploma in animation art and design. I actually got my diploma in fine and performing arts through my high school. We actually had I had a really great high school that had a lot of art programs. So if you took 12 credits, basically 12 classes of all in this section of arts and performing arts and stuff, then you got this diploma. So I was going to take those classes anyway. So it just happened to be oh, you get a diploma in this now. I'm like, great. And then I moved to Vancouver to get my animation diploma, which took me 2 years at the Art Institute, which is now called LaSalle. And then right after that, I started working at Skybox.
Thank you for sharing that, Candice. We have a lot of great questions. Another question, actually, there's a couple questions that has to do with coding. And Wendy, I do know that you're a software manager, and you did talk about coding in your introduction. So some coding questions we have is, how old were you when you learned how to code, and what software do you use to code?
Yeah, those are great questions. I started first coding when I was in high school, maybe in the 9th or 10th grade. I think we had I think it was called like infotech course, like a general computer course. And this is going to age me a little bit, but back then, we coded like, I don't know if anyone knows this, in like DOS. So this was before we had like Windows. um, so yeah, it was like text programming, and that was my first experience. Um, and what software do I use? So I wish I had sent the link. You might be familiar with this already, but what I really love these days to learn how to program is a program called Scratch. And it's like you can drag and drop programming. Um, but if you're curious in like what languages actually get used in making like video games you might play online these days, I think maybe the other mentors here can correct me because it's been a little while. But C++, I think, is still maybe the main programming language that we use. And you can code that in all sorts of different programs.
Thank you. Yeah, I am a little bit familiar with Scratch and block coding. So, if any of you also want to give that a try, it is also a lot of fun. Let's see, what other questions do we have? We have so many. And it does look like we're almost out of time, however. So let's end this session with it looks like the biggest question is why did you want to create a video game, and perhaps highlighting your favorite parts about creating a video game or any video game that you're most proud of, your favorite game that you helped design or code. Yeah. Sorry, that was a handful. Danny, I haven't heard from you. Danny, would you like to share?
Yeah, for sure. So favorite games to design. I've worked on quite a few games at my previous company. I worked on a Beyblade game, a Ben 10 game, a Slugterra game, and those were all really, really cool. I think my favorite one to work on was actually the Slugterra brand, which maybe some of you don't know that brand. It's a Canadian brand that was developed here in Vancouver. The reason that I really like it is like the characters are really cute and there's a lot you can do with them. And we created like a really fun game that has been live for about 7 years now. Still, like it's still going and it's really fun to add stuff into. It has like a good community. But right now I'm working on Disney Mirrorverse, which is like a really, really cool brand and cool game, and I'm really loving working on that. It's super, super cool.
Thanks for sharing that. It looks like Bianca likes Terra as well.
Oh, cool.
Um, let's finish it off with everyone going around to say their favorite game that they have been playing. I think that's so. Some folks have asked if you play specific games like Genshin Impact or Horizon Zero Dawn. So let's go around and have everyone share their latest favorite game. Starting with you, Mallory.
So my team, we play socials once a week. So we play games together as part of research and also fun. And we've been playing this game recently called Moon Hunters, which we've had a lot of fun playing. I think it also might be a Canadian game. It's really cool. It's like got a great story. So that's my favorite, at least for today.
Thanks for sharing that, Mallory. How about you, Candice? And it also looks like someone enjoys playing Halo.
Yeah, I mean, I have been playtesting Halo, and it is right now my favorite game for sure. I also really like playing Phasmophobia with my friends. I have a VR headset, so getting right in there with the ghosts is really spooky. I'm more of a tabletop RPG player for the most part. I play a lot of 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. Um, yeah, and Animal Crossing. I got really into Animal Crossing when it came out on like the newest one.
Yes, I also enjoy Animal Crossing and Phasmophobia. Thanks for sharing that, Candice. How about you, Wendy?
Yeah, to be honest, I don't play a lot of games anymore. But with my coworkers, yeah, we do play some games sometimes. And I think there's one called Gartic Phone. It's like a drawing game where you draw something and then someone else has to guess what you drew. Usually it's pretty funny.
Very fun. Love games with friends, multiplayer games. It's awesome. And Danny, how about you? What's your latest favorite game?
I've been playing a ton of Pokemon Unite. I love it so much. I don't really like MOBAs too much anymore, but that game has like drawn me in because I love Pokemon, and it's been really fun playing that and like mastering all the different characters. I've also been playing a lot of Hades too, which is a really, really good game.
Yes, those are amazing, great games. And thank you so much for sharing your path and how you got started on, creating video games. And looks like we are out of time now. So I'm very sorry if your question wasn't answered today, but hopefully we got through most of them. And a huge thanks to our wonderful mentors for sharing their time and sharing their experience, expertise, and passion with us. If you could please now return to the mainstream in our lobby and get ready for your next activity. All right. Thank you, everyone. Bye.